All right, Drew, we got a little movement at top of the top 247, and it's not Arch Manning, but a little shuffle between 2 and 3 as Dante Moore, the former number 2 quarterback in the top 247, is now number 3. And leapfrogging him is Nico Iamaleava, one of the most talented passers in all of the land. Drew, me and you, Gabe Brooks, Chris Singletary, and the rest of the crew, we went back and forth on this discussion for as much time as you could possibly think, trying to figure out which of these guys that we liked slotted above each other. And it was a very long, drawn out debate. We ended up going with Nico Iamaleava in the 2 spot. And I don't think you could go wrong here, but really, what was it that convinced us to put Nico Iamaleava above Dante Moore?
I just think it's that arm, Coop. And I know you've seen Nico throw numerous times. I've seen him down in Miami. I mean, heck, 11 months ago, and I was in awe just watching him whip it around the field. I think it's also a potential thing, and that's a bit crazy to say. I mean, Dante Moore is the youngest of the blue chip quarterbacks, but we feel like Nico has the higher ceiling. Right, we've seen him. We know he's over 6'5". Again, he can create so much torque, and he's a plus athlete that's still figuring out how to play the position. We thought his senior season, he elevated his play, took it to a different level, and there's still more to unlock. Coop, I think you've said it. You wouldn't be surprised if Nico pushes for playing time day one at Tennessee. I think you've said that to me multiple times. So why don't you tell the listeners?
An early enrollee in Knoxville. I just think this is a guy that's made a leap from his junior season to his senior season. The more experience, the more reps he gets, the more the game starts to slow down for him. Now, I do think there's going to be a little bit of a jump once he gets to Knoxville in the SEC. That's going to be expected. But you talk about the talent, Drew, to me, he has the highest ceiling of any player in the class, not just the quarterback position. And when you look at the quarterback position, especially studying Sundays, teams that have the most elevated ceilings are the teams that typically have guys like Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. And when you study those type of guys and what they were, dating back to even high school all the way throughout college, there were some inconsistencies there. A lot of these guys that were banked on as high upside prospects. I think we have that in a Nico Iamaleava, but I think this is going to be a guy that's going to play early. We talk so much about the arm, Drew. The other thing about Nico Iamaleava that sticks out to me is the pocket presence and awareness. I think his instincts are exceptional. His ability to extend plays, create explosive plays down the field. So when it came to that conversation, projection versus production, although Dante Moore is probably the safest player in this class, especially when it comes to quarterbacks, I think Nico Iamaleava has the chance and the opportunity to raise the ceiling of any team he plays for. That's going to be in Knoxville under Josh Heupel. But Drew, there was another guy that really turned some heads this season, came onto our radar late last year at Denton Guyer in Texas. That is Jackson Arnold. He continues to inch up in the rankings. Another really impressive senior year from him. But what do you like about Jackson Arnold and what Oklahoma's getting?
He can beat you with the arm and the legs. And Coop, when we were sitting down to do our 32 5 stars in the player comparison, me and you kind of went back and forth. I said Taylor Heineke. You said, well, hey, is Taylor Heineke that good of a quarterback? And I'm like, he's starting on Sundays, right? Making plays, and he's creative and crafty in the pocket. I think Jackson Arnold is the same thing, obviously playing a high level of competition there in the Lone Star State. Someone we think that could also push for playing time as a youngster, year one, potentially for Brent Venables and the Sooners as they look to get that quarterback situation and that quarterback room under control. Coop, you're his biggest fan. So why don't you tell us what stands out about Jackson Arnold?
I think timing, anticipation, accuracy, and overall command of the position. I mean, it's pretty simple. When you turn on the tape of Jackson Arnold, that's what you get. You get a complete player who has a complete grip over the offense that he's in. I've loved watching him over the last 2 years at Denton Guyer. I think this is a guy that elevates his team around him and the skill around him. Drew, you mentioned it. How is he different than the rest of the guys in the top 32? I think the activity as a runner, that's a part of his game that you have to respect. Plays with so much toughness. This is a guy, a 3-level passer. I love the way he plays. And I think, Drew, you said it, Dylan Gabriel on his way back to Norman has had some issues staying healthy. Oklahoma needs some depth. I wouldn't be surprised if Jackson Arnold is on the field as well, whether that's circumstance or whether that's just somebody that's going to push Dylan Gabriel. But I think Brent Venables has his game changer, program changer for the next 3 to 4 years at the position. But guys, that will wrap it up for us and for Andrew Ivins. I'm Cooper Petagna. Keep it locked to everything recruiting on 24/7 Sports. It's going to be a busy week.